Hi, you guys. So here's the deep dive on all things alien or UFOs. I want to check and see what we can pick up. I say we for the channel, but I mean what I'm going to pick up with the cards, my intuition, and my spirit guides. And I really am going to. This could end up having a second part or more, because I'll break it down. I think there's different aspects that I want to ask about, which are readings in and of themselves. So first part I want to ask about is about the different, I'm sure there are all different varieties, of course, of other beings other than humans that exist. I think you're pretty silly if you think actually that they don't, and pretty dull. But anyhow, let's take a look and see what the tarot wants to share with us in regard to life outside of human that exists, and what I can suss out with the symbols and my intuition and the flow. So here we go. I'm asking the Creator, the universe, the source, to share with us about other life forms than human that don't live on Earth, that may exist. What do we need to know? The varieties. What does the Creator, the universe, want to share through the simple use of these symbols and concern to life forms outside of human that exist? Okay, let's see. Well, we get the Seven of Swords. I feel like doing this in a kind of a Celtic cross. So, first off the bat, there's what is seen and that which is not seen. This card typically carries with it a meaning that there are things that can be definitely purposefully cloaked or deceived. This is to hide something deliberately. All right. So let's just keep going. And as you know, or may not know, with the tarot, we kind of come to the whole goal of that is to make sense that there's continuity. That's what the word I'm looking for with the cards in what you're referencing. And I'm already feeling it. Look at that. Okay, so crossing this situation. Three of Pentacles. Yes, there is definitely more than one sort of non-human entity that exists. I feel that some of them work together for a common purpose. And it could even be that there are a band of actually 3 of them that are significant, that I feel contribute to a greater effort for all. I'm feeling that they too have collabs and helping each other because it helps a larger, number of people. Not people, but beings, shall I say. That's very interesting. I'm getting a lot of feelings off of that. Okay. I'm going to kind of try to, because I lean back and then I'm like, so I'm just going to try and set this up. Okay, so with this card of feeling like there is some conscious cloaking of appearance or being just right out there. Yet they are. And yet I feel like this could also pertains to information. I think that there are a lot of governments around the world that, there's information. It's deliberately been kept. And also because they really don't know what some of this is. They can theorize, but I think those theories are kind of being fed gradually to us so that when we do, and I believe we will, at some point in the future. We already have. I mean, they're here. They've been here is what I'm getting. And that's through an intuitive channel. Okay. And I'm also just getting the phrase, just because they're like hidden civilizations. Just because we can't see them doesn't mean that they don't exist. And they may purposefully also keep themselves kind of cloaked from us. This can be because they know that we are still trying to get our crap together collectively. But this really is more about them and not so much about us. And I feel that these 2 cards indicate that they do deliberately conceal some, with that 7, some of who they are, so on and so forth, I think from us, and maybe just in general. It's intriguing because I feel like there are different collections of them that are different, but they kind of all work together, that they collab, much like other countries. And this is based on the Queen of Pentacles. To me, these are planets, and not just necessarily ones that we think of that we could inhabit, but ones that are perfect for them, that they can inhabit and do inhabit. And the Queen of Pentacles, to me, is also their DNA. It is their genetics. It is their origins. They too, I'm getting, are children of this universe. Not just this universe, but of existence. You know, we really need to, and I think we know this when we are not in Earth School. I think our higher selves know this, and that's why most of us can go, and that's why when they ask people, most people do believe that there's likely some other life form, because it makes common sense. But there's also, I think, knowledge that we do retain to some degree or another, and that we have to kind of, that we tend to forget once we're in a body, that for whatever reason. Okay, so let's go on. So I'm totally getting this also about, like, their domicile, their planets, their homes, where they reside, and it looks like there's a hidden, once again, they keep that hidden, or there's an effort to keep that hidden. I feel like also there's aspects, because we have to sit here and debate with people if they even exist, okay? And there's, I think those that have the ability to know about other life forms, other planets, and this kind of thing, because I think there's all a matter. I think there are, I mean, think about it. There are planets and galaxies, just thousands, millions, whatever, beyond calculation. And there's various life forms, I get that, of course, live. Some of it may not be extremely self-aware, and I think some of it is. I'm getting that. Just even with this, I think I definitely used the right deck. Okay. Now, let's go to the crowning card. Now, look at that, the Five of Swords. So this is our bully card. And this is the card of, and I think I know why now they hide. They may have had others take over their planet. I'm getting they have histories too. Of course they do. But this feels like an invasion, like some of them had and have had invasion by other non-human life forms. And it was not on the friendly side, definitely here. I also think it's why they look at us and go, no. And stay hidden. And just work with a small number, I think, of other beings that they know they can trust, that they've established something with. God, I'm getting so much more. And it's all kind of like a lot at once, and this is about their genetics, mixed genetics. There's also mixed species, different, what we would call, I'm just going to say non-human, have, it looks like to me, like small clusters of them work together to protect, I think, themselves. There's a defensiveness here, and part of that defensiveness is a bit of hiding. I get hiding their form, hiding, and it's because I think they've been very vulnerable. So I think I'm getting that there's like a small number of them that band together that may live in a more hidden fashion, because in their history and in the past they have had invasions by other non-human life forms that put them under duress or made them have to shift and hide or cloak, keep getting that word, themselves. And I get like that's long history, but that there are distinct groups of them with here that the universe is talking about that work together because of this issue. I think they too were probably invaded. And so this is a very, it's deceptive, but it doesn't feel like it's, when I see the deception, and it's card, and I also see Crowned by the Bully card, I think of a few things. And then working this card of, it's a challenge to work with some of them. I think because some of them do just want to overtake planets, and there are some that have had to band together to help each other to deal with, I think, marauding is really a feeling. And there's no, that bully card, that Five of Swords, it's a card of, you don't care if you make someone suffer. In fact, you might even like it. That kind of way sometimes. So there might be certain, I think there are certain non-human life forms that are more definitely all about marauding and are not the most benevolent at all, while there are, I think, others that are far more compassionate and work together. But because of this, they've had to, it feels like, camouflage, cloak, not be so easily seen. Two of Cups. Now this is talking about past. And the Empress, I feel like that's Earth. Okay, yeah. Here I go with the genetics again. I think they are hiding the fact that some of them have come here and used our DNA. And they've used other non-human, I feel like genetics or something. You know, I'm no scientist. But there's something about the corporeal aspect with the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles here that's talking about planets, physical corporal form, and physicality. And I just get I'm just getting for someone there was for some of them they had trouble to maybe reproduce because of this. Definitely more feminine energy here. What we, conceive of. But it's about nurturing. So to me, this is about their planet, way of life. Mentally, there is the bully card, crowning. That card of, and with that card of also the Seven of Swords, where you're kind of being sneaky. I think that this is them, some of them certainly where our planet and other planets are concerned are not going to be forthright about why, who they are, why they're here, or what they're doing, because I think a lot of it, for some, deals with trying to, again, strengthen their corporeal forms in certain cases, or in some way nurture, make themselves, their well-being. I think, they're the Two of Cups and the Empress, this is really making me feel, and then this Three of Pentacles, yeah, it's really making me feel like there's an issue with fertility, for some of them, and they are trying to, I think, going to different areas or planets where there are life forms and seeing, taking samples, taking, I think more than that, sometimes, I think taking beings away. But Three of Cups. Again, that three, and we had the three. I feel like, again, we're being given, there's a friendlier group that seems like they are a collective of three, maybe three different places, galaxies. In the environment is the Seven of Wands. This is defense. I do get the feeling that they have had wars. And that has had long time effects upon their own life forms, and they're in a position of, this is in our environment, or in their environment, I'm being shown a defensiveness. There are some that are bullies, that are looking to, I think, recreate, something to do with corporeal form. And I think it's not just from Earth. I think it's from various places. But we see in the environment that they're getting stronger. So I feel that all this Two of Cups and the Three of Pentacles and the Empress, I think it has helped. They've been finding some kind of way that it's actually helping. So that kind of confirms to me like there's a weakness or an issue with I don't know, a strength of fertility or some means of reproduction. I feel that they're trying to improve and strengthen. And here's the card that speaks about where you're coming to where you're able to better defend yourself. And this feeling here too, and the things I was picking up, maybe those that are banding together will become stronger and better able to defend themselves from more the marauding type. I get again that there's a sense, Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles, that's a significant, that there's a triune and I'm feeling like they feel like they have gotten, some of them, some sort of success in strengthening their form or whatever this was that they were lacking strength-wise. Strengthening their environment as well from attack, I think. Now, in the area of hopes and fears, we have the Princess of Cups, and this makes me feel like it's another, I think this is kind of a mutual hope and fear of each other. The Cups, though, are a hope, I think, of goodwill. Definitely. And I think also children or youth or another generation. If they went under attack from others, they may have lost. There may be a smaller number of them trying to repopulate, or I don't know. Queen of Swords. That is a lot of feminine energy, type of energy. I'm feeling that it's more to do with that they're not hostile. I'm getting, we're not hostile, but we've been attacked by other non-human forms in the past, And I think it did a significant amount of damage to their ability to sustain themselves and made their numbers much smaller. This in turn, their ability to sustain themselves off their planet would then be much more limiting. So I can see where then, like, whatever it is that sustains, nurtures, creates that growth that they were seeking and are finally getting, I think they're trying to heal also their planets, as well as their physical form. I feel like there are planets that have been affected by wars that have gone on between and invasions, and it's hurt the health of the planet, which has hurt then, of course, the other beings that depend upon that planet to have corporeal form and health or well-being. Whether, you want to say that it's a form that some of them, I'm sure, are shapeshifters. I definitely get that they can do that kind of thing. But I feel that there are some that are more warlike, and there are those that are certainly are not, and they are much more interested, I'm getting, in learning and development and well-being, and not interested in causing harm and any of that at all. And I feel like these were attacked by more aggressive types that knew this about them. And so this is some of them. I'm getting a message about, affected their planet, affected then their own health, and so they've had to try to rebuild their own health and their planet. And it looks like the good thing is that in the environment card, I get the sign of, and we're getting stronger. So that's a positive. I feel that with that Queen of Swords, there is nurturing and protecting. But I think that though that some of these are less warlike, they're going to be more protective. And working, I feel like, on being able to resist the attempts, any future attempts or any attempts that other life forms have of overtaking in the future. I get that with that Queen of Swords. She just feels, oh, you can't see her. So I'm really feeling with her, I'm being shown a story about a small number that came together after being marauded, and their planet weakened, their own I feel like physical forms or whatever it is that they rely upon, I don't know. But I think you get what I mean. You can clearly see it in the cards. With the Three of Wands, this is them going further out, exploring further, kind of like on Star Trek, in outer space, going further away further out from, and I feel like it's more exploration to find what they need to repair and heal their planet. And particularly these three groups. It could be like, it specifically could be even 3 galaxies, 3 planets. There is clarity there. They are looking for new opportunities. Seven of Cups. Well, and the High Priestess. Ooh, okay, now Ace of Swords and the High Priestess. There is something that is definitely, I'm also just getting the hit that the secrets, some of the secrets, they're going to come out and really come out about, we're going to learn about them. We're meant to know about them. There could be more actual information that comes out. I don't look, honestly, to the government to be a 100. You know, I don't think any government in this world is going to just say, this is, you know, all we know about it. They always want to have a vested interest. But that 3 of Wands and that 7 of Cups, the 7 of Cups can be about not being realistic, but it can also be about, I think what they're trying to say is there are many different opportunities out there, and it's just a matter of making a choice about what they're going to engage upon. And I see that they will take up opportunity. They will make that choice, a decision. And I'm being shown that it's not going to be revealed right now. And because there are choices they have to make here. But I feel that at some point, the more friendly ones, they may reach out. And this is like leadership, government leadership. This is King of Swords. It could be earthly. It could be leadership that meets with earthly leadership. I feel like also that a lot of that there's information that they have, but there's a concern that it would mess with people's sense of, especially this Judeo-Christian rules and ideas and theology. I'm getting that. And I'm getting, this King of Swords could have been, I get the referring, I feel like it's much more about earthly presidents. I just feel that maybe at the time they were concerned about how that would affect religion, and I'm really thinking like Eisenhower, and I gotta look and see if he's an air sign. The Lovers. This is a choice. And again, we're being shown that there are choices about where they go. And it's just a decision that I think they're getting stronger, and they're figuring out that there are more opportunities for them beyond their own sphere. And so they go other places to help strengthen their own planets and beings. This just makes me feel like, I don't know, I guess maybe the Hierophant, kind of the 50s and Eisenhower, and I don't know, not wanting and making a choice to perhaps not release something. Yeah, the Emperor, President, and religious leadership making a choice here. I feel like this is to do with Earth. And I think they have rules too, and certain traditions. But I feel like there's one man that knew something. He saw something. I feel like he chose to keep something quiet. And I feel like it was one of our presidents. And because when it came down to it, he didn't want it to rock the boat of established religious theology and mores and whatnot. The Nine of Pentacles and the Prince of Cups. Independent. Accounts. This makes me feel that there's a wealth of information, actually, that they have that we don't know. Some of it might be pretty dry, but some of it would be very intriguing here with the Prince of Cups. And it's too bad that they've kept it quiet. It's not that I just think that there's powers that be that want to make sure that they remain powers that be, and they don't want people questioning. They fear the collapse of society, but they also want to retain their power. Nine of Pentacles. Again, this makes me feel like this is independence. This is something that's has a lot of well-being. Oh yeah, I'm getting there's other places where there is no there's no head of government of like that kind of thing. It's much more independent. People, I think, are more advanced, for one thing. And they may, and I say people, these other non-human forms may be definitely more advanced, may even look at some of the beliefs here that we hold. I think they know, and I think they see them as kind of a bit simple, and maybe even a bit silly, like, you know, childish, stunted, comparative to them. Princess of Pentacles and Two of Wands. So we get a lot about decisions here and opportunities where other, and to me this just, you know, portals. These are, that just struck me, where they can go. This as well. Interdimensional. There are interdimensional non-human beings, definitely. Some of them are nicer than others, not a surprise. Some of them are trying to repair their planets, repair their health, and get stronger and protect themselves from more aggressive sorts who cause damage. But there is something happening. There is I get also that yeah, they can change how they appear. It's like illusion. I got, you know, optical. They're a lot more aware of our abilities in generally, I feel like, than we know. So I feel like it's not so hard to hide from you guys, you know? It's not so hard to kind of sleight of hand or hold something back just a bit, but we're there. We, you know, they definitely travel where there's opportunity, or where there's perhaps these portals in space that they can go to go into another area. I feel like there's travel through these pockets. They're like portals, they're doors to another, and that they're all way up in knowing all about that, certainly. And I'm just like a baby catching the outline of it. A lot of it is in the moon. That's interesting. So I think a lot of it is for now, I think, because they realize they have their own agenda. They have things they want to do too and need to do for themselves, and that's what they're doing. But I see there is peacefulness here. And night. There's night. I feel like, is this the Bedouin? I'm feeling like Bedouin communities can probably really, because there's not the same light pollution. They probably see them all the time. It's kind of a feeling I get. And I think that the moon is saying they choose to keep some, again, themselves cloaked a bit for their own protection, firstly, and they have traveled actively to, I think, for their planets, to some of them to that have that capacity and technology to get stronger and to repair damage done. Now, the moon and the Four of Swords is stillness. To me, it's also peace. And definitely the interdimensional stuff. And yeah, I do feel like certain lakes, certain mountain ranges are, I'm all the way over here, are, I think, definite places that they may not live there, but it might be, like, if you will, kind of a portal highway if that they go through. So they may exit out Shasta, because there's mountains here, and my mom was talking about that, and I do think there's certain mountain ranges, where we've heard about reported activity that for some reason, I feel like there's like a pocket of that they can move through. So they might just be kind of like passing by, looking at, as they go on somewhere else. And I definitely get that feeling that they don't just fly and hang around the earth all the time, but that the certain points of earth are interdimensional portals that can go somewhere to else that is not earth. And certain planets have these openings, these doors. New ones develop. Again, I'm getting the sense that some of these portals or doors are stronger than others. Some are just developing. It's interesting. They know that we are gobsmacked, so to speak, by them, but they don't have this theology and stuff and these different ideas, so they're not kind of weighted down with that, and they kind of like, they don't understand what the big deal is, that we don't, why it should be like, why you would find that so remarkable that they exist. Logic. If we go Vulcan for a minute, Spock would tell us, logically, of course there are other. And so that's kind of what their attitude is, and they kind of find us childish, yet very, and it's not that some of them can't be. It's not that some of them can't be violent. I do get some are much more warlike. But I also feel like there's a cluster of them that help each other and are working on correcting, perhaps, or fixing the well-being of the life where they exist, and so on and so forth. So that is what I'm going to stop here because we're at 52 minutes. And this was just the first part. So this is just about talking about getting what we can about the different aliens, what the Creator, what the universe was willing to share with us. And I think we got some interesting stuff here. I think my next reading on them will be about are they interested in I think they could care less, frankly. Yes, but they, as far as like human beings becoming aware, I think they don't really want the bother in many respects too much. I think, we need to evolve a bit more. And perhaps that's why many of them keep us at arm's length, at least some of them anyway. I do see that I feel very strongly like there's this cluster of 3 I just keep getting, but I feel like they are, and all that feminine, what I would describe as a more feminine energy, it has strength to it, but they're just not interested in being warlike. They're interested in reviving the health of where they are and strengthening their environment's health, and therefore the health of themselves and the other life forms that exist wherein they are. So I think there's a certain degree of, for much of Earth, it's kind of condescension, kind of condescension of like, oh yeah. But I think the others are just focused so much on trying to rebuild and nurture themselves back up to health, and that's what their main focus is on, and they just don't want any trouble with anyone. I want to ask very quickly if some look human. I get that there are some that know that their appearance might freak us out, and so they can shapeshift. But let's just see. What can you tell me about their physical appearance, or how we would perceive them? I just got, some as diabolical, because they do look scary and they might be more hostile. I got a hit on, I was just thinking about Mothman for some reason, that some of those may not be they're the interdimensional being, not necessarily stuck to Earth. I just got that about Mothman. All right, the sun. So we're getting energy. There may be more of them that are just energetic forms, light. Okay. But it also depends upon, of course, the environment wherein they subsist. of what they would look like. So, like, we look like what we do because the Earth has what it has. I feel like there are some places that may be very similar, but there may be a bit of difference. And there's some places that are vastly different. Okay, we got energy, fire, light, it would feel powerful too with that King of Wands. It feels like you'd notice. More like energy forms. Again, wands. I feel like they can change form or appearance. Some of them. And the Chariot. This, to me, are the UFOs, the flying discs, or the vehicles they use. I feel like some of these are remote, are being operated in a sense by remote. They may not be manned, if you will. They may not have anyone in them, but they may be being controlled by definitely by an intelligence. What am I getting there? I think many of them can shift. Can shift form and change form. I also feel that they would appear smaller, maybe, many of them, falling under the sun. There's like child, there's a real strong child aspect here, so not necessarily large. And look at the Fool. They could look somewhat human, but have... I keep thinking of like Star Wars, and maybe they're not so far off. But, it's going to depend upon the terrain of where they are from and what is, what I get of what they're going to, be made up of. Two of Swords. This is keeping quiet. Not putting your energy out there. I just feel like they can use certainly remote craft to go interdimensional, and that they can view and watch from and observe from. I definitely think much like we do with the you know, what are those things called? Oh, God, now I'm spacing on that. But you gotta, spacing, good pun. You gotta cut me a break here. I'm out floating in the universe. Five of Cups. There is some loss here again. In the past, from the past. Tower. Again, there's that warlike sense. I get lasers. Okay, what else I got? And here, you know, this could be talking about something that happened in one of their history where there was definitely, I think, I'm asking about what they look like, physical form. I'm given the Sun, the Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Chariot. And the feeling I got was that basically they're energy, just like we are. But they have some differences. I think it's a lot of those craft that we see are not manned. I feel that they are remote. Just a feeling there. I don't feel like all of them are. They're kind of meant to go and take a look. Much like we use our drones. So their drones are just way more advanced than ours. Trying to figure out what I am getting from this. I feel like they're speaking about where they lost a lot of people, or not a lot of people, a lot of their fellow beings may have perished. Because there is something sudden here. And a great loss. And it's irretrievable. And it's usually connected to a loss of something that can sustain you. It can be many times for us with the Five of Cups, you know, it can be grieving or mourning. And of course, if a place gets destroyed, you can feel upset that it gets destroyed. If a person gets destroyed, the same thing, of course. So I'm getting both of those. So I'm getting a feeling like they've had their wars. And again, I'm being made to feel that they can shift, and that many of them are mostly have an energetic form. Six of Cups. Look at this child. Look at this with the child here. The Sun is often with, you know, and then the Fool, and then the Six of Cups, childhood, the past. This is their past story, I feel like. And it could possibly have to do with taking children, or taking some of their conquering that whole ugly scene. Yeah, there is something not honest here. No, I think it's energy that can make itself be seen and can make itself not be seen, can cloak itself. Physics. Ace of Wands, Five of Cups, the Hermit. This is them searching and becoming wiser. But I think becoming wiser through that loss. And again, I feel that they can cloak, because often the hermit's wearing a cloak. I'm getting the outside form doesn't matter so much. There's certain ones that are just energy, and they can take on and mimic or look like whatever. It's for them, it's a physics. For the ones that are just energy, they could look like whatever, or they might not even let you see that they're there. Yeah, Seven of Cups. Again, I feel like there's the ability to kind of camouflage or confuse, or I feel like alter, and definitely the sense that how they travel is through dimensions, with that Seven of Cups. And that there are places in different galaxies that have portals that can take them to other worlds. I mean, other places, not just within the same galaxy. The past. I think this individual here was a bit foolhardy in the past. I see him being very, like, knows what he wants and he's going to get it. So this is a force that's to be reckoned with. But then something happens and there's a loss that happens that they don't expect. And it could be with a child. Or youth. There are some that are older than the Earth. There are galaxies older than the Milky Way. So, just like we send manned or unmanned probes, whatever, craft to Mars, and that's another one I read about is China and what they're going to be doing. They do the same. And so some of the ships that we see are, I think, remote, on a remote system. Very advanced. But yeah. So I'm going to stop there because let my brain have a rest. Because usually when I do that, I am rewarded with more will come to me rather than by holding on to it too long and burning out on it. So I'm going to do that little trick and step back and see how you guys enjoyed this or not. All right. So if you enjoy this, you know what the deal is. Please put the thumbs up. Please, please, please. Thank you, thank you. And share. And make sure you're having a good day. Can you come do my laundry? I guess that was too much to ask. But anyway, how about I'll see you in the next video or live. All right. Bye.